welcome right Nice one, I could have that this week.
Cheers.
Wasn't it coat on?
Last week, mate.
He wasn't here last week, so he was buying a new coat. There it is, yeah.
Where were you? I watched it back. The receipt. I'm going to get
only AstroTurf jacket in Scotland, look.
I watched it back, sorry, I watched the podcast, but it seemed a better atmosphere with football last week.
Hey?
No.
It flowed better, I think.
How did
Aye, where were you?
tennis
Tell us.
Camp. Me and my dad were
Camp.
going to book.
You were in camp with your dad. I used to do that when I was 5. Go to the back garden.
Camp out the back garden.
You go and get high. Yeah, I go. Where you going camp now? My back garden.
Your dad pushed the sleeping bag as well, didn't
I had to share the sleeping bag with him.
He was going to the toilet. What a shocker start. That's battered.
You want to just go back to your camp?
Gotta go
Back to your camp.
The wee debt collector was away getting all the money off the family.
Me and the wee man were going about the streets looking for people. We fucked the camp. We would need to sort the money out. So us two for the first few years we're walking about, banging doors, like, trying to get the money sorted. So that's how I was there last week.
Glamping.
Aye, talking about family members. Lewis Ferguson's fucking scored in St.
Yeah. Wow, unbelievable.
Look at the wee Don, look. Wee Don Ferguson sitting there.
Oh.
Listen, my missus, she was there.
Should have seen a minute of the game, Tom.
She thinks that's just
Why was Morton on the side of the
strange,
pitch?
wasn't it?
Where was he? No, come on, talk us through it.
I think I'm getting affected by that chat now. So I'm like, nah. He actually, he played well. So he did. There you go.
Good.
So he did play well in the game, but they needed that. So they did. So I'm happy for him,
amazing,
honestly.
isn't it? Because
I
know he's waited and he's come in and played well and what's he started the last 3?
Aye. And also the other boy.
How's he's got to be after scoring the goal? He's going to kick.
Another boy, Abisher, that they'd bought in the summer as
Abisher,
well. Aye, no,
no,
he is. He's a good Swiss boy.
For Broomhill.
It's not the Serie A section, it's the Lewis Ferguson section. We're not interested in anybody else.
This is James Richardson, isn't it?
Aye, that's it. Aye. But there's another dodgy guy that's on that does Italian football. You seen him?
Dodgy?
He's dodgy to me, by the way. He's a big flowing hair, the beard. Obviously a guy that's not...
Or beard.
He dresses very... Right, it's not like kind of... The way, well, obviously the way you nick it. But I don't know, he just looks a guy who's never played the game, but just speaks very well, very posh and that, you know, so... no, my kind of...
It's like the Graham Spears, actually.
By the way, there you go. Aye. But a hairy one.
Hairy Graham Spears?
Hairy, just
Hairy Graham Spears?
Hairy, aye. Hairy, I'll give you know about that, wouldn't you?
I'll give you a tenner.
How do you know
I'll give you a tenner if you guess where Faddy was on Tuesday night.
Tuesday, hold on. I'm trying to think of games.
In Europe.
Aye.
Somewhere in Europe.
Tuesday night, he'd have been in... No. It'd have been an English game.
Wrong. One of the biggest stadiums in the world.
Well, it was an English game.
English team.
An English team, that's what I'm saying. So it'd have been Chelsea, man.
No.
Bastard.
Come on.
Who is it?
Unbelievable, Paddy, wasn't it?
Dortmund, Man City.
Oh,
in Dortmund Stadium.
That's amazing. You go for Cumnock on Friday night.
Unbelievable.
That's the type of guy he is, isn't it?
That's it.
Unbelievable. Just football, innit?
He's the type that could sit with King and then...
Aye, us.
Oh, scumbag.
Scumbag,
I was in Dortmund. It was a great experience. Their fans are incredible,
Yellow wall.
honestly.
That's what he calls his teeth, innit?
That's so sharp.
Aye. Yeah, the fans are brilliant. That yellow wall, aye, amazing. Didn't stop singing, whole game. It was 0-0. Dortmund probably should have won.
And what, you did just taking a game in?
No, I was commentating.
Are you
radio,
working? Alright, I didn't know that.
So
you need a night off, a day off.
I just got back last night at midnight.
What, for that game?
Shattered.
Who was brilliant, Fad? He was Bellingham good.
No.
Was he not?
No, he wasn't a standout. What the boy Adeyemi plays on the right.
Yeah.
Gave Cancelo him a bit of a torrid in the first half. Cancelo had to do quite a bit of. He was all basically on his own on that left hand side. He was pressing the full back, then having to cover. But the boy Adeyemi should have scored a couple, I would say. They were good. They had the 17-year-old striker up front as well, Makoko.
Interesting, because as soon as you... Makoko.
Good
Because
player.
everybody would just think Bellingham, wouldn't you? There you go, but you're saying he was all good, but no...
He wasn't like... The main player was Adeyemi for them, the winger, because they just worked hard to get back, stop the passes coming through the lines, and then put them on the break a few times. They did put them under pressure as well, but it was a good experience. The fans were
amazing.
Honestly, see when you go to
Got a piss outside the stadium, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Is that right? I'm right in saying that, isn't there? There's like a big floor that you just stand outside and piss into it.
Oh, is there?
You can get a beer and all.
Get a beer, you can get a beer.
Scoop it up.
We got there about 3 years before the kick-off, and the fans were all outside drinking and like getting ready for the game. And then,
do you ever get a beer when you're working there before?
You can. If you're there the night before, go for a wee bit of food, a few beers.
And they pay for everything.
Aye.
No everything. No everything.
Who was that you were there on?
5 Live.
That's what a life.
Who was the commentator?
Ian Dennis.
Right, good stuff.
So it was the yellow wall was everything and more. Like it's a full stand. No normally go to a game, you get a wee section of fans that sing. It's a full stand, 24,000.
Paddy, that could have been him.
What?
That could have been you.
What?
Co-commentating and all that. But you knocked back the Ackies.
The Ackies joke.
You knocked back the Ackies, man. I'll never forgive you.
I was shocked.
Remember that?
I shot myself there.
You remember?
I was going.
He promised me.
I did. I said I'm going to Hamilton commentating for one of their games, and then don't know what happened.
Been the start of a new career for you.
Was that after the boy got sacked for saying he was away for
That
the
was
game?
it.
That was
Was
it.
after it.
Was it? So they thought,
What did
How can we get that guy back? What Slaney? Once he's been on, we can get him back. Who's going to win the Champions League before we move on to Grosvenor Sport?
Man City.
Aye, of
PSG I'll
course.
go for.
See, before we just get on that, so were you watching the game in Lewis scored?
Yes.
Live? You were watching it live?
I was in the house watching it with his two brothers. Well, he's more...
Done when he scored?
Do you know what, it was a wee bit more subdued than I thought it was going to be, but I think that might have been the effect of the wine, to be honest with you. That was a wee lunchtime,
that means you were having a wee nap at that point, weren't you? And the boys like,
I was watching, but I was, normally I'm up half a seat and all that, but no, I was a wee bit more subdued. I was just one of them, just delighted that he's got his opportunity. He scored. It's one of them, I don't want to sound kind of, it's no big-headed, and kind of knew he would have that effect on them because he's a wee bit different in terms of the aggression and what he does. So it was a nice feeling, a right nice feeling.
Was it a wee bit surreal, like seeing your boy scoring Serie A?
It's amazing, that, isn't it?
Aye, because obviously on the phone, she's texting back, you know, and like she's there, she's live, and with her brother.
Brother Jim was there, I seen him on Facebook.
Aye,
big handsome man as well.
Jim's a great lad, so he is. He's a big Celtic man, unfortunately. So he is. No, he's a good lad, but no, so they were there, and I'd love to have been there myself, but get work commitments, you know what I mean? So that's what it's all about.
What a guy. Imagine seeing your boy in the telescope Serie A.
Aye, it was. No, I'm just glad she was there and all that. But that's what I'm saying. She thinks it's like nipping into Glasgow, isn't it? Just nips her to Italy anytime she wants.
How long's your flight again?
2 hours. Two hours.
We've got it in November.
We definitely need to go. We've got 2 weeks free in November. We're going to go over and cover
the
again.
thing is,
we could interview him as well.
The thing is, he'll be coming back.
When? Because the
World Cup,
isn't it, for the World Cup?
It's 12th.
So it does.
Aye, his last game's the 12th of November.
You're at that weekend, we could go to his last game then.
We could just go with Carol.
That
by the games.
Sack me, I'll just stay here, just use go.
Me, you, Carol, Jim, I'll go with Carol, you go with Big Jim.
Go to a Celtic pub, take your sleeping bag.
There's a man. Same hairdo as me, but there's a man with a big hairy.
He's actually look like each other.
He's a man with a big hairy arse. Okay, by the way.
He can get smooth.
You get a perm in that arse of his, by the way. Honestly.
Imagine that on the flight travelling with the jeans rubbing up against the arse.
It's funny how you lose your hair up here and all that, and it starts growing everywhere else, innit? Out your ears, down your nose, on your arse. It's incredible, isn't it? What's all that about? I think he's a number 2.
Strange that he wears thongs. Why does he wear thongs if he's got hair?
Listen, I've saw him in action, so...
He's the MVP of this show now.
Oh, what a guy.
Aye. No, I know the action. No.
What action? No action.
Take a shot.
No, don't. You painted a picture, man. What a
picture.
No, you say shite, I say jobby. What a jobby that would be, by the way. No, because he can eat for Scotland, that man, I know. Oh, aye.
What does he like?
Fucking anything you put down to him.
Does he?
Aye. So he does. Aye, he can scan. Right, can. Aye, it's a good man.
Need to get him on.
Would want to Grosvenor? Do you want to see the Grosvenor? You deserve the Grosvenor.
After that performance,
come
you
on,
see the
no,
goal.
Derek.
I love when you just
you
normally
don't.
just smoothly.
Seamlessly.
Aye, yeah, listen, you weren't here last week. Come on, you've got
Go for
Right,
it.
you've
Come
got
on.
a bit
Brand
of
new offer, say, innit? Double
It's
the
not
odds.
brand new. Stop saying that.
Say it is, innit? See what they've mixed up this week?
They have mixed up.
Unbelievable. Double the odds for new sign-ups with your first £10 bet. Sign up at gsport.com/open goal.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Rangers last night.
Yeah, I love
Great
that.
start to that. That was brilliant.
Aye.
Well done,
Magic,
you.
wasn't it? Was it like that last week to start?
Yeah.
What's it?
Better.
Yeah, better.
You always do
You
want
was
it.
here last week though.
You always do want it to go bad when you're knowing, don't you? Though? Don't you what? I don't know. You feel terrible. You feel you're like sad if you don't have a good.
Were you like that as a
Still
player
money.
then?
Aye.
Have you weren't playing, you were hoping they were going to have a shot?
Every week.
So what about now you're
Pardon?
coaching, man?
Still the same.
So if you weren't at a company game Saturday, you'd hope we get beat.
100%. Nah, no, it's all different, mate. I'm different to coaching. Actually, I said that to you a few weeks ago. I actually wish I was like this when I played.
Had the same
I feel
passion.
more nervous or
There you go.
more
That's
for boys
interesting.
and for the team.
Instead of
Maybe
walking
you're-
in when somebody's had a shocker and gone,
Oh, fucking brilliant. Still
shocker,
well done
innit?
today, son.
He's had a shocker, innit?
Did you see the picture on Instagram of him and Dale doing the exact same thing? Brilliant, wasn't it?
I actually noticed that when the game I was at.
What did?
The two of them, the two boys were chewing the fat.
What game was that? You keep a calibrated.
It's brilliant, innit?
No, you're excellent, mate. Instruction to the boys, you and Dale.
Going to coaching Van Bronckhorst, Derek. Rangers last, another defeat. Is it time up for him?
I think he needs to be careful because it's getting close and you listen to, well, I listen a lot of the Rangers support and they're a wee bit like me, a wee bit disillusioned with what's going on. It's just, I was a wee bit, I don't know if it's just me, the way I feel at the moment about Rangers, about the way they're playing and listening to the manager, but just some of the language that he used after the game. You know, I didn't quite agree with it. It's just kind of defeatist to me, you know, and everybody was expecting, you know, us to get a doing last night, right? And we know how difficult it is, but they did rest a few, Napoli. But he says that even before the game, get a good start, get a foothold in the game. You're 2-0 down, 16 minutes gone. That game's finished. And you could clearly see that they always knew they were going to win that game, Napoli. It was what they were wanted. They want to go and go full pelt and make it 5, 6 or 7, whatever it was. They could have if they wanted, but they never. But he speaks about a reaction. Didn't see it. I was disappointed with the certain players. Morelos still doesn't look fit.
No.
You can't no putting the effort in. We talk about that, and because you
Do
look.
you think it looks like they're not playing for the manager in terms of effort?
Well, when you give Morelos, give guys like Morelos, who's been getting a bit of stick, Kent, who's certainly been getting a bit of stick, the one thing you look for them is out and out effort, desire, run your fucking backside off.
Big
They weren't.
backside up.
Aye. And they weren't. You know what I mean? It's quite clear to see, even watching the game last night, and there was the guys that were on it, they were highlighting it, but they didn't need to highlight it. You don't need to be a mastermind, a footballer. You can quite clearly see that they're not putting it in. And you've got guys that are off form. You've got Tavernier, who's not playing very well at the minute. Lundstrom, who's not playing well at the minute. So there's a mixture of that, but we go back to the manager, you asked the question, it doesn't really inspire me, Slaney, to be honest with you. And I look at the last couple of games, the Dundee game was poor, looking for a reaction against Livingston. It wasn't there, was it 3 shots and targets? And you could actually see how that game was going to pan out last night. And it's as if he accepted like 3-0 was a good result, was a decent result. Wow, I kind of, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I've got a problem. You probably.
Oh no, you definitely do have a problem.
But I'm
It's a
banging my
lot of
head
group
up.
though, innit?
Yeah.
But
there is a way to get beaten.
I get that, aye. And this is where, right, and I'll flip to your team, Celtic, you know, because there always seems to be more positivity, the way the manager doesn't accept defeat. He has a go. I'm not seeing that, your manager, at the minute. And even, did you see last night? No, there was a couple of things he was talking, Faddy, and he kind of smirked and smiled at a few times, and I'm going like that. I would rather see him raging, being absolutely gutted. He doesn't look
to be fair, he was raging after the Livingston game, right. So you can't just be raging all the time. But what kind of effect is that?
Right, maybe that's the wrong word I've used, raging. You've got to be. He didn't look hurt. He didn't look as if he was hurting to me last night. Well, I tell you what,
they've gave up in the Champions League, don't it?
It's clear to see in the cricket because
last year they run every game they played Dortmund, Leipzig. Before the game, it was we'll win the game. A real belief to go and compete. And
where's it going?
They're Champions League teams. I don't know, because everybody's looking at the manager, and obviously ultimately the manager carries the can. But the players you mentioned, Ryan Kent, sensational last year in Europe. He's not turned up. He's tried to drop him to get him to
a reaction.
Get a reaction. He's dropped Morelos, left him out the squad because he's been unfit, not accepting below par. Well, that tells you he's not happy with levels in training. If he's leaving a player out the squad and saying you're not ready to be involved. So he's trying to get that reaction. You can't drop Tavernier. Who do you play? Who do you play instead of Tavernier? So you're hoping that he can do that himself.
But then that flips back to the start of the season when he says you've got a squad that's going to be playing in the Champions League. Are you happy with this squad? Have you got enough about that squad? And his words were, I'm more than happy with the squad. Well, it's clear to see.
But you can't say at the start of the season he's not happy with the squad, because there's obviously...
I would rather say, listen, you can always improve that squad. We can always get better. You know,
I think you look at the teams they're up against, they were supposedly going to compete against Napoli and Ajax. Forget Liverpool, because although they've started the season badly, they were the team that everybody expected. Napoli sold quite a few of their best players, but they replaced them with quality. Spent some money doing it. Ajax every year sell their best players. Every year they reinvest the money. And Rangers have let Basse, Aribo go and no Balogun.
There's a few others.
But people are getting obsessed with Balogun. If everybody was fit, but if everybody was fit, Balogun wasn't a starter. He was a good player to step in, and he would be ideal for Rangers now. But I just mean, when you lose Aribo, when you lose Basse, and you're not able to replace them with like for like quality, then you're starting the season, you know, behind. I know Tom Lawrence, a good signing. He's been injured, but they've not been able to.
Do you want to know they've not been able to?
The squad with
I wanted
quality.
them to try and find a way of getting something, getting a point. I mean, you still get the Ajax game coming up this Tuesday, and it's at home, and you're thinking, surely, because they're not in a great place at the minute. But I'm thinking these games, I'm not saying we're going to go out and we're going to be the better side, we're going to win these games, but compete and even get a point here, and I give something to hold on to.
I think that's unrealistic, I've been totally honest.
But
Liverpool got absolutely battered for them with their best 11.
It's unrealistic so it's unrealistic then, right? If you go into Premier League then, Celtic, Rangers, it's unrealistic for any other teams to compete. But how did Martindale find a way? At IBROX.
Because Rangers are poor just now, but Napoli are
right, so sometimes Napoli last night didn't play their strongest side.
No, I know, but
that place, can I tell you another thing? That place wasn't bouncing last night. I'd watched Bologna go in there. The place was bouncing. That was all right. That wasn't a full house there. So there was maybe an opportunity that you could have got something. But there's the factors I'm trying to say. Faddy's making a case here. I'm telling you, there's players that are no at it at the minute. There's players that are no given everything at the minute. Aye. That's no good enough coming through that. That's the manager. That comes down to the manager.
Did you always feel? I always felt I played my worst football when there was no structure at my team. See, when I had a manager that we never had a style of play and identity of this is how we play it, I always thought it was shitey. So I look at Rangers now and I can see why the players have not played well. Because I don't think there's any instruction of when the ball's here, I want you to drop there to go and get the ball.
Right, so
it's like they're kind of making it up for themselves.
If you played in a team like that, would you say to the manager?
No, I wouldn't.
No?
No, when I was, no, that, now I would, but when I was that age, I wouldn't.
These players you're looking at should be able to say, we need more information.
I don't think players do that now, Fanny.
Well, that's... I agree with what you're saying. I don't know how they work. I don't know if there is a structure, and it is just that you know, the players are so below par, because again, I go back to it, last year there was a structure. Tactically, Rangers are brilliant in Europe because they know they can switch. You can't just say, right, we're playing a 3 and this is go and figure it out. You have to work on it.
You need to work on it.
So I don't know how they work. And the manager, ultimately everybody takes their share of blame. The manager's the one that fronts it. You're looking for a wee bit more passion and a bit of, you know, defiance for the manager almost to say, look, we're disappointed we've not won this game. I'm not happy with the manner we conceded the goals. When I seen the first half, Rangers went to go in the attack. Within 10 seconds they'd been in and around the box, they're defending. They're defending a cross or a shot. So that can be the structure, but there's too many players that aren't performing. And
Are you seeing a lack of effort? Again, what you only seen last night about Livingston game.
Well, they don't look like they're hard to play against. You know, they're not going to blow teams away. You go back to the Dundee game, Dundee find a way to get back in the game and actually make it uncomfortable for them. Livingston go down to 10 men. It's easy to say if they didn't, then they would hold on for the win, but they're struggling to find a way to really dominate teams, and they should be trying to. No in the Champions League, I'm not saying they should be going and dominating Napoli, Ajax and Liverpool, but they should be competing against them. It shouldn't be, right, as Derek says, 3-0. I thought it was going to be worse. You can't be doing that. I know that their qualification chances were long gone, but you still need to go and put up a fight and say, look, we can be competitive.
A fight, a desire, and that's what you've seen for even the Napoli players. Even the boys that I know he scores 2, but look at him the way he worked his socks off. The forward boys, when they lost the ball, if they lost the ball, they chased back. There was that desire. You see Kent jogging about. You see Morelos. There was one I think it was the first half, when Morelos puts a bit of pressure on the big centre back. The big centre back just drops the shooter and he turns. But then he's went, I've put my wee bit in, I've ran for 10 yards. No, see the Napoli boys, if they went and that had happened, they'd have chased him again. Chased him 60 yards. You know, and that's what you don't see. I think there was one, and I'm jumping into another game, but is it the Aberdeen boy, Duke, showed you a wee highlights against Motherwell and all that. He loses the ball, high up the park. First thing, remember, they highlighted it in 60 yards. You know, and that's the hunger, that's the desire. That's what fans will put up with. I would put up with that. So I would. As long as I see that coming, that they're giving their all. And I don't see it.
No, that's a great link though for to play Aberdeen at the weekend. That's how professional this guy is.
Amazing.
Just sensed it.
IBROX in it? Aberdeen's got IBROX. How did Van Bronckhorst pick them up for this now? For not a heavy defeat in it.
I think it looks like there's a lot of waiting for somebody else to do it.
It's a collective.
For the players looking at each other, the manager looking to the manager looking to the players. You're right, everybody needs to get together and start, all cliche, pulling in the same direction, because at the minute it looks like they're all over the place, whether it is a wee bit of lack of confidence or a wee bit of lack of belief. But the players that we're talking, Ryan Kent's the one. It should be a standout every week. And see, when you play in that position, sometimes it just takes one thing to come off you to spark something.
See, on the Kent line, Faddy, so I watched that Livingston game, the highlights. Now, it must be that the instruction was Kent, get the ball and put the ball in the box.
Aye.
So can you blame Ryan Kent for not getting the best of you if the instruction is just get the ball at your feet and put the ball in the box? Because Ryan Kent, old to me, when he gets the ball, his first thought is, I want to drive it and defend up, take him on. Whereas against Livingston, it was just like it was,
touch cross.
Even if Livingston was 5 yards off him, touch, put the ball in the box. So that must be it must be an instruction.
Right, that was
so can you blame Ryan Kent if that's what he's asked today? He's doing it.
See, we're not privy to that instruction, and that's what you would love to know that, wouldn't you?
That's what I was asked managers that.
I know. Good. That's you go. That's a good question. What was your role in that team?
You asking Ryan Kent?
Because again, it was highlighted that getting to the byline and you're looking for cutbacks, which is really difficult to defend against, and he's not getting to the byline. Whereas again, but he chops but for me, he just looks like, and I've said it before here, he doesn't look as if he's enjoying himself. And if you're enjoying your football, if you're enjoying it, it's just natural. You give everything, and he just doesn't.
But even the other, I know we're focusing on Kent. Kent, if that is what he's asked last week, he did get a chance to put crosses in. He put crosses in the box, and as a wide man, if you're told to put it in the box and you get it in the box, and somebody's not getting on the end of it, you've done your job in that. But last year again, keep going back to it because it's a reference. Tavernier, top goal scorer. John Lundstrom, excellent in that European run. And they're nowhere near the levels
They look
they
a bit
were last year.
They look a bit lost at the
Lost,
minute, aren't they?
That's what I
They're
see when I
just
look
no
at
eyes.
Is it a must win then for them on Saturday?
They've got to win,
I
of
think
course
it's
they
a
have.
must
Oh
win,
God, aye. You know, and again, what that game comes with, you know, with the history of the
they're
two of them,
playing
there's a
well,
lot
aren't
of
they?
dislike, hatred even, if you want to call it that, between the two teams. So it's a big game, and Aberdeen are in a good way, aye, at the minute. So
They two up top will
and
cause a few problems.
I think they'll have a go, and that's the thing under Jim Goodwin. That's clear to see. They're not going there and they're going to
No,
sit
I
in.
believe they can go and get something. It's,
So it might help Rangers. It might, if they're going to have a go, they might find some spaces to get into, you know, and you know, to create. But it's a worry. But aye, is it your question? Is it a must? They've got to win that.
Wonder
But
how
I think
they'll
they've
go
got to
about
play
it.
well as well. They've got to put in a
Broadcast.
performance.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to need to change his formation again, isn't he?
And that's the other thing. He chops and
changes.
changes so much. And
But it worked last year, didn't it? So it's hard to criticise. He done it last year and it
The
worked.
players are not
He's
used to
trying to find.
responsibility
They're
as
trying
well.
to find a rhythm. You try to find a. It's all right saying this is the way I want to play. And if your players aren't performing, when we don't know how often he's tried to hammer home the same message and say, look, this is what I'm looking for, and the players aren't doing it. And maybe it's been not a compromise, but you're almost looking saying, right, well, how can I get the best out of them? If they're not performing in the way I want them to, how can I get the best out of them? Just to try and turn the tide a wee bit, because they don't look like they're going to go and, you know, blow teams away, and that's a big issue for them. And Aberdeen going in at the weekend will have massive belief they can go and win the game.
Aberdeen's front two, but they've also got another great young player, Connor Barnes,
Brilliant.
at Kelty last year with Tom.
I watched.
He raved about him.
hear
He's
what
now just got an endorsement deal with Adidas as well, so well done, young man. But he looks like a real star, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's a good player.
He does.
So he is. Aye, and he's one. He always
Best centre
wants
midfielder Aberdeen had past 5 years.
Aye, right. He always wants to. But what I like, he always wants to go in that ball. He wants to dictate things. And when he gets, when he's running about that box, he'll have a go. He wants that's something he's going to add to his game. He's not the biggest, not the tallest, but I tell you what, he gets wired in as well. Aye, but a terrier that can play.
And has enthusiasm.
Aye, and he can pop it about.
Did you ever get a boot deal when you were young?
He'd had a boot deal, fuck.
What, Motherwell?
Coming out
Did
his
you,
arse.
mate? Adidas it was, wasn't it?
Timberland, done it?
I wish they were in fashion back then.
Did you ever... Willie McStay, mate, what a guy. Everyone in the dressing room, big news. 5 years of... I've got 5 years boot deals. It's like me, Mike, and it's like, we were thinking Adidas nights. Like, Joma. Fuck off, I'm not wearing Joma boots. Fucking keep your boot deal, man.
So what was that? Were you getting paid or just getting the gear? Was it? No.
Fuck knows where he was getting.
We get.
He must have been getting a few quid out of things like that.
He was getting
Joma. Fancy Joma. We chefs were kicking about in Joma boots next to anybody else should wear them. Security gets standing in Joma boots.
I never understood how you got a deal. Some boys had it at the team. I never understood how they got it. That's what it was, wasn't it? He's a good player. No, I don't honestly. I remember it. I think Flecky had Adidas at Scotland. He came with one Adidas stuff.
Nike.
That was Adidas.
Celtic was brilliant though, because Celtic used to get free boots all the
I know,
time.
but they were fucking scumbros, man.
I know, see, it was Nike. We had Nike. It was the Temples, the black Temples. But I like wearing black boots then.
So you were sponsored, so was there a factory you could go and get all your gear? They just send it to you?
Aye, just send it. Or
But clothes as well, Faddy.
I could see all your family at Christmas all knocking about with Adidas gear and all that on, couldn't you?
The thing was, when I was younger,
uncles, aunties and all that, grandas
when I
all
was younger, when I had one, it was,
Exactly what
they
they
did
did.
send it, but it was, they just send it for you. And then when I got a wee bit older, it was, you can go into like shop and pick what you want.
That's brilliant.
There you go.
Golf clubs, everything. They had a partnership with TaylorMade.
Oh my
So-
God.
Golf clubs. And
So with the family all kitted out?
Aye, we granny with the
That's
sambas.
They weren't because I didn't, unbelievably, I didn't rip the arse at it.
Why not?
Don't know.
Did you?
What'd you get? See a deal, did they pay you as well?
I think you do get a few quid, eh?
Did you get paid for that?
Aye.
Was that anything, Faddy?
I got my first boot deal when I was at Motherwell. Getting
Quite a wee special to have that in you.
getting the Preddies and
I remember you
getting
were paid,
paid
aye.
to wear them. Gold bonus, international bonus.
Fuck's sake. No wonder he's got that big house.
No,
No wonder he's got that big
that's
house.
just the way it used to be. It's harder now, I would say, to get a boot deal.
That's how he's natural.
Oh, brilliant, mate. We were buzzing, man. I think it was like 5 of the ones that were
bring
doing
back
quite well at the
memories.
time. Got his a boot deal. Fucking Joe, my man.
See, I was at
Easy
see,
boots,
when I
I'll
was
stick
at
him up your ass.
see when I was at Motherwell, the S forms and that used to get the pony bit.
Pony?
Aye,
Remember that?
because Motherwell
Yellow
was
pony,
with-
wasn't it?
Aye.
Yellow
Yellow
orange,
and orange, that's
and
right.
you used to go, I'd love a pair of ponies. Because of the, it was like, you got boots once you were signed and all
Signed,
that. You thought it was amazing. They were shanners as well.
I meant to ask you, have you ever been chucked? Did you ever get chucked at his mass chippy? I made the sun by you.
By
was
the,
the sun, you
I seen
frightening.
that.
Slow
The boys
down.
showed
I made
it.
that in the sun. Seriously, I watched that.
Chucked at the chippy.
Just a chat,
Brilliant.
wasn't it?
And you wouldn't tell us some of the other ones, wouldn't you? Know?
No,
You don't.
no.
Good that for you, by the way. No from them down there.
Does the
man.
kiss and tell? You've definitely been chucked out there, nah?
Brilliant in there, wasn't it?
Aye.
Should try to
Your
wash
own
your
top.
face in the...
I've been chucked at a
That's it,
few.
it greases up, man. Like, right, me.
Face in the deep fryer.
Oh, you're always in there, weren't you? You're always sitting there. It's a bad one for me today. You were always sitting in there. Always remember it. If you didn't get a birthday dancing, you were always in there hoping, let's see if I pop into MD now. No,
Is that with batter on it? Or
It's
just
not the Blue Lagoon, mate. It's
No,
not the smoke.
I know
Is it
that
the
one,
smoked
but see the
one?
Blue Lagoon, I
Smoked
fucked my
one?
No,
sausage.
we're not talking about Blue Lagoon.
No, that's a right one,
Jeez,
mate.
come on.
I bet it was good because I fucked my sausage off the Blue Lagoon window. I swear to God. Fucked it
Just
right.
shout, come on, Da Vinci's, and we just threw your sausage
No, I
up
did.
it.
I got it off and he'd only put one sausage in it. So I was shouting in, mate, you only
Correct.
put one sausage in. And he went like that. You need to go back to the queue. So he fucked it right off his window to come up.
That's happened to me.
So you get the
What's your order for the chippy?
I don't even
He's moaning about not getting that sausage, so he fucked his other
So
one
what
away.
were you? So you were stunning.
Just had the bag of chips.
So you're standing outside the chip, holding your sausage up.
And going, you yab.
Eh?
You're a mock chop, you can tell that. You're a
Did you have a bit of it before you had it? No.
We didn't have to go. We went back and go that.
Did you go back to the queue to get your sausage?
What's your order on the chippy?
No, I'm just a fish up, boy.
Oh yeah. What sauce?
Special or a normal fish?
I'm red sauce.
Special
Special,
fish,
no?
no?
Special.
Aye,
No,
breadcrumbs.
just fish up. What'd you get? What's a special?
Breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs.
No, I don't
Oh,
like breadcrumbs. Batter.
Aye, bar. No.
Aye.
And there's a salt and vinegar.
Aye. The full shebang.
Do you get a roll fritter on the side?
No, the rolls. No, just the fish up.
Do you get the pickle?
I always get a pickle.
Pickle, aye. Used to get that out of Equis, Hamilton.
Aye.
Used to go to the
Talking
Hamilton.
about Da Vinci's.
Aye, but yeah,
Fucking-
Equis and all that was part of going to watch it.
Aye, Equis alright, it's in Hamilton. And it's the best ice cream
cream's
ever.
amazing.
Aye.
What's
Raspberry apple.
your sausage supper out every time?
So it's about like half pizzas up and like the king rib. King rib.
Oh, at the same time?
Did you ever get a wee battered black pudding?
Aye.
Oh,
See, nobody said you never
or a
ever
battered
eat
haggis.
See, Faddy's a
Battered Mars bar,
specialist
you
in
don't
this.
have that. Don't you know? Nobody ever eats a battered Mars bar. That's all.
No, it's all the
that.
shit.
Nah.
What are you, fish or sausage?
No, sausage. I like a smoked sausage supper, actually.
What, with no batter on it?
Aye.
I got one of them that night. In the
So
Rangers.
good. Do you have ketchup in it? He
Curry
puts
sauce.
curry sauce in his chippy.
Oh, no.
Aye,
It's not like
gravy
that.
I'll go
Ketchup.
for. Sausage, just a sausage supper with gravy.
That's amazing.
I'm fucking starving.
We get a chippy. We get a chippy after
Go for a
this.
chippy after this. 11 o'clock during the day, brilliant, man. Right, Celtic, eliminated. What do you want to say about it?
Disappointing, Si.
Right.
I think when you looked at the group, I think you were, listen, they are hard teams, of course, yeah. And Leipzig goes and beats Real Madrid. That shows you how good a team they are. But I think you were hoping that you could maybe get into the Europa League at least. And a lot of Celtic's goals they conceded were very open. A lot of them we were actually attacking. 10, 15 seconds later, they got the part and score. But then,
we were attacking, right? Is that
aye,
what you-
Celtic were attacking, and then 10, 15 seconds later, they got. Oh no, did I say we there?
Aye.
Oh, did I? Fuck.
John Hartson. Turned into John Hartson.
So, I think
Stop putting them off.
Sorry,
He
mate.
was right in the floor.
It is hard that though, because see before Shakhtar missed that chance, and we'll go into that because Chris Sutton was miles off what he said about that sitter that Shakhtar missed. But before they missed that chance to go 2-1, Kyogo goes through and goal. So as much as we're saying they're open, they could go up. And so it goes back to taking their chances again. So and it's been that the whole time, and maybe that is in the summer. I need to look at it and think we might need more quality because Kyogo's not looked the same player either in Europe.
So he changed it, didn't he? Kind of went a 4-2-3-1 instead of a sitter.
Well, Kyogo and Jackie Mackey's played, didn't he?
So I think Kyogo played off Jackie Mackey's with O'Reilly and Hatate as a two.
I think that's what it was.
But he usually plays with one sitter.
One sitter.
Panicked a wee bit, Kyogo, didn't he? When he was in that.
Didn't look like my toy.
No,
Snatched it.
there was no
That's
calmness
like the
about
whole
panic.
campaign for them.
Yeah.
Players getting into positions, think they're bad in the first game. Snatches at it. Maida in the second half.
Just
Panic. It's like
that's what it was. It was like a panic. I'm there, 1v1.
it should. You speak about the style and the approach of the manager, how it doesn't change game to game. And I know it's easy to say, well, you shouldn't let the occasion get the better of you, but the reason they do it is so that no matter who you're playing, they play the same way. So if you get a chance, doesn't matter if it's against a team domestically or a team in Europe, you need to take your chances, particularly there.
My one criticism would be that if McGregor's such an important player for you, should there have been a ready-made, not replacement, but
How though?
I know.
how do you get somebody coming in
It's
and
like,
play?
it's like the one with Tottenham. They used to say they need to sign somebody to compete with Harry Kane.
Who's going to come and sit on the bench?
How do you
Yeah.
get somebody at that level? So for
But
Callum
it's
McGregor,
just such a different team for me without McGregor in it.
yeah, definitely.
He's actually trying to change the way his style with the two instead of just the sitter.
What was the take on the miss? What was that?
Chris Sutton says one of the worst. I mean, he's miles off that. I completely understand. Listen, it's bad for the guy, right? Of course it is. But I understand what's happened. The boys played it across. He's trying to control it. He is trying to control it, and his touch, it's took him out the pitch, and he's kind of froze a wee bit.
But did you hit the first time there?
I think he's trying to be clever.
What's he even
I've
taking a
never
touch
seen
for?
the game, but I saw that.
Did you see the
back.
chance?
I think he's tried to.
Why do you
cushion it
even
in.
take a touch? Why do you even think they're taking a touch? The goal's there.
like
Just
good,
put it. I think that's what you're maybe saying. Try
One of the worst
to be
misses
too
ever.
clever. Just put it in the back of the net. But
what's worse than
You don't think that's one of the worst misses ever?
Oh my God!
Do you not?
No. He says worst miss ever. No. He said that was the worst one. I think Limos.
Oh, that's a-
But Uwilemos for me came across at a pace now.
Aye.
Whereas, mate, that's rolled. That's rolled.
rolled on a perfect surface, innit?
But
The goal's there.
Touch.
But why is he taking a touch?
I
Just
know.
put it in the net. Just roll it in.
So,
He's
okay. So see whether he's tried to hit it first time or try to control it. He's done that. Aye, he's done it. It's no like
You need to get back in
bobbled up in
your
front
dad,
of
didn't
him.
you? You're back in your
Into
dad.
that sleeping bag again.
Pick me up the minute.
You've been farting in that sleeping bag. It's affected your head.
Nah.
Maybe I need to watch that one.
I think you're right. I think he's just trying to
I
be
think
too
he's trying to be
clever.
clever.
Isn't he? Just I'll take a touch and I'll just roll it in.
Have you got a miss in a game that haunts you?
I have. Italy at home. Play the last game if we win. If we win, we qualify. Aye.
That's horrible.
So what was the chance?
I came through midfield, played it wide to Kenny Miller, and it was wide. It was close enough for him to have a shot, which I thought he was going to do. So this is how I remember it was. I thought he's no squaring it. He's shooting. So make sure you get round the back for a rebound, and he just flashed it across, and I'm running, and it's like it is wet, and I can't like fix my feet before I know it, it's like just outside me, and I can't get enough on it to put it in. Side netting haunts me.
What were you?
That's a big one. You can't default that, mate.
No.
I've got one, but it was UEFA Youth Cup final. We get beat 2-1 for Spain. I get put through the last 4 minutes to go, mate. One on one. I could square it to Dorns, mate, and I shot.
What did they save it?
A big goalie came out and spread himself. But it's not even a proper game, is it? It's
No,
not a
but it is,
professional game.
it is.
But if we'd went to extra time, we'd have beat them in the final. I've no doubt in extra time, but should have squared it. Fucking selfish bastard, man.
Does that still, when you look back, does it?
Well, if I scored that, we went 2-1 up. We'd have won that game 2-1. Easy. We'd have done what we had to do to win that game. So that's a big one for me.
What about you?
Yeah.
You've not gave it a second thought, have you?
No. No, I can't remember me even being in the box having a chance like that. That was tough.
What's the best goal you scored?
I didn't score many.
It must have been the best one, though.
It's just about take part.
What is this you not talking about this now?
Especially not about Harry.
I used to take more pleasure in making goals. So I did. That's my. Well, sometimes I did.
Well, do you know the best goal that you've made?
Made.
Like
A few for
pass or-
Coisty.
for your pass
Even
or their
McCoisty,
finish?
see playing Coisty was brilliant to play with because he was never the quickest, but he was clever and like sometimes you'd free kicks and all that, like 30, 40 yards out. I'd always look at Coisty.
Just moving.
Aye, because sometimes he'd be like, he's talking to the centre back, but he's pointing where he's wanting. He's going, all right, big fella, how you doing? How's the man? All right, how's your mother? And he's going like that. So I'd just go like, put the ball, and just boom, and it's just down the side, and it's just there so he can just go, just be things like that. I used to love all that.
Lost brown toast, didn't he, Costy?
Martindale. What a result at IBROX.
Pulled off a great away result.
Very unlucky not to get 3 points. Will this be a struggle for Celtic going to the Tony Macaroni?
Could be.
Right.
They have struggled there, haven't they, Celtic? That's for sure.
Everything that comes with it, innit? The park, the surface, the way they are. They're in a good place. They're physical, but they can play. Big Nubly, he's always going to be a handful as well, up top. So innit? They've all struggled a wee bit.
I think that'll be key. I think
the key will be the start of the game. If they can,
Tight pitch, Livingston.
it feels tight with the way the stands are.
Yeah.
It feels a wee bit. No, it's no massive, but they're in topies, so it's got that feeling.
Because you
It's
think the Astro would kind of suit how Celtic play.
Aye, zip it.
It doesn't
It's
seem
not.
that.
It's not really. The surface doesn't help, but it's how they're going to set up and what they're having to try and break down. They're going to be defensive, Livingston, but they'll carry that threat with Nubly up top because he seems to turn up for the big games and he has a handful. I think he's a cracking
Big
player.
Oberlai at the back. I mean, I watched him McQueen of the South. See him McQueen of the South. He never played centre half.
Aye,
He
centre
played
mid,
just
wasn't
centre mid. So he just played in front of a back four, and he could play a bit, but he was great for set pieces for and against. So
Aye.
they've always got that threat as well. Set pieces.
What did they play Livingston? Is it 3 at the back?
I think
Or was that
there's
just the
four.
IBROX they played? That looked to me
I think they
like
mix
it
it
was a
up
3.
size.
He changes it all the time,
Does he,
Martindale, aye. Even during the game, isn't he? It's just-
Aye, he's quite
if you're-
flexible.
Aye. You're
Sometimes
listening.
Nubly's up through the middle or he's playing off
Playing
the
off the
wing.
Aye.
And the one thing he's got is the players they all fight. They all work hard. They all do exactly what he wants, and he can be flexible with his system and his style even in games. And the players all respond to that. He's done a brilliant job.
You said he's flexible off the pitch, or what is it? He does with his legs, have you said?
By the way, here's one for you. This is my favourite show since Open Goal started.
That's good. For Andy and Kevin. Your club pod. You've got your own podcast.
Yeah,
Everybody
right.
that, didn't you? I'll see that one, you know. I'd like us to go on tour with this
That
for.
would be great.
With this for.
Bologna's a must, that.
Just this for.
Who could sneak in and who's definitely not allowed at the rest of the shows?
Oh, that's a good
Couldn't
show.
take Kev to Italy or that, innit?
Oh, by the way, Kev would love Italy Bologna. The food.
No,
it's
but
amazing.
I don't think he'd eat that sort of food. He's a
Burgers and that.
pies and that, innit?
Just meat.
Just
Just wants meat.
not
He'd
Can't
just
just
want Ken Benny's and fucking Italy.
Aye.
Greg's in Italy.
Andrew.
And could take him out. Nah, he cries quite a lot, doesn't
Too
he?
much, Andy, no. I think it's just as far it goes. We'll look into that because before the World
Well,
Cup.
the World Cup's coming, and he'll be back anyway. I think wait a wee bit longer and get even into next year. You'll be more than welcome
So
over there.
I'm surprised that we've never been invited up to his house.
Can we do
5 years we've been
here's
doing
I've
one.
not got it. I can't put.
Here's one.
I've got a 10.
Oh, man's
You're
been doing
welcome.
the full podcast. He's not
Can you see it? No, can you see it?
Surprised your head's not been doing that.
Can you see it at all? No, it should do, by the way.
Are you playing cricket later on?
What?
Well done.
What did he say?
Can you see it? But name was taking me on in it.
Can't see it. Never mind. Can you see it?
I'll put our full names into a hat, right? Here's one.
No, your hacks has got nicks all in it.
Did you ever have nits when you were a boy? Did you ever have nits when you were a boy?
No, did you?
Well, we all had
Did you
it.
need to shave your full hair?
Man, dash gubbins with this shampoo. Put freeze with him at
In that
the same
shower.
time.
Same man.
And
He's gone up. Oh, fuck.
What age is 18?
18, 19, 20. So I see, I'll pull our names out a hat, right? And whoever's name comes out, that's his house we date for next week.
Right then, I'm up for that. Oh, please be yours.
Cooking show. Might imagine that.
Mate, your man that's got to be into. May make it a time
I think
she's
we'd
in.
fit a lot. We wouldn't fit a lot. We'd do it.
Are you up for that? Then at your house?
I wish you'd be doing it in our tent.
Aye. If your name were doing it in that tent,
Yeah,
you
you
just can't
can
do
Right,
it.
we'll do it at the end of the show. But before we do that, Dundee United Millwall got all high praise for Hammy, 4 defeats in a row. It can happen, and he's not had any recruitment, but this shows you Faddy, how football can change.
Aye,
Can it?
that is. and
What do you
it's-
think's went wrong, Faddy? No went wrong, but why they've not been getting the
Well,
results?
they've had to be
Tough
fair,
run of
they've had a
fixtures.
tough run of fixtures, and they're still creating opportunities. They're still playing well. So again, you need to take your chances.
They did have big chances against Aberdeen, didn't they? Was it Van Veen?
Aye.
What about the penalty?
Oh,
They've got.
I don't,
unbelievable.
I don't know what they're looking for. Do you see the Atletico Madrid game last night? Because
So the game finished.
talking about it can still be checked.
Right,
So it was 2 each. Game finished. Penalty. Right,
97.
we're hitting the penalty. So they hit the penalty. Keeper saved it. Come back. Boy hit the bar. Come back. Deflected out of the bar.
Oh, yeah,
it was it,
that's
was it?
nice.
And then, was it?
Aye. So that was to
Carrasco.
keep their hopes alive, going through. I know we're moved on, but that's another point with the Champions League and everybody's slaughtering Scottish football. Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Barcelona,
Aye.
Juventus, out.
Oh,
They're all out. So
it shows you
it's
these
no,
teams.
it's no,
not easy.
Scottish football is, we need to do better. Scottish teams starting at Motherwell against Sligo, we have to do better, but when you look at the level of a team that's going out of the group stages, and
Good point.
it's
Feels
no,
as if you've
it's
had
not bad.
with the Scottish teams in Europe, feels like you've had a doing, doesn't it?
Aye, it's been a sore
Battle
one.
for pillar to post, isn't it?
It's a sore one.
Just something like you walk outside and 3 guys have just gave you a right tanking.
Aye, you're walking in like
Aye, you walk out and then boom, boom, bye. And then they've just, aye.
wave your tails with
Bye.
your
Take
legs.
3 guys,
Aye.
couldn't you?
How do you think that
Not
game
at the
will go?
minute.
You're
No,
a
I
strong
just-
boy, man.
Need the clays off one show. I waited Dundee. How do you think Dundee United are doing?
Tell you, I watched.
You got somewhere to be, mate, because you keep trying to rattle through these things.
Dundee United are in a
Me and a wee
tough
sticky
spot,
patch.
yeah.
Aye.
I thought they're poor against it, but if I'm being completely honest, I thought
Aye.
St Mirren much the better team.
I
I
haven't
must be
watched
looking at this thinking,
What about that goal getting
good chance
chopped
to get
off?
back money.
Aye.
What about that goal getting chopped off with VAR?
What was that for the wee?
Slap. Maybe, can you? Come on. That's a shocker, isn't it? You're
I'm
having
not
a
sure.
laugh.
I'm not sure. I know
Oh,
everybody's
God,
definitely.
aye.
Only because they're looking at it and I know it depends.
Two of them will hear him, and he's fighting me like that, and he's no man. It's just one of them. He's no went. You're
No.
getting it, mate. Bang. I
No.
think he's just friending with
Aye.
the 2 guys, and it just clipped him.
I think you're right. I think he is trying to, but because it comes up to his face, that'll be why they've given it. I know. I used to do it when I played. My dad helped me for a young age. Get your arms up,
Innit?
throw them back.
Protect.
And get away from it. I had to do it. I used it to propel myself away from players. I was that slow. I was like, come here, you right? Like, to run away. But I can see why they've given it.
Oh.
I really can. I know there was a big, a lot made of it, but I can see why, because he does put the arm back. But
it's a
I agree with you. He is trying to.
2 of them will hear him.
Whether you're maybe not allowed to do that now. I know, but
You got to
it
run a
wasn't a
bit
great
like that.
weekend for
Were you one of
VAR,
them
was
as
it?
well? Because that's usually a one
Sure.
Aye, my Ireland
Slapping
always
people, you were not.
Always.
Take mine.
Slapping their arse, aye.
You used to
Slap your big sausage after Chippy Windy.
Myers were always running. I don't know how that happened. That was a
Can we
strange-
reenact it and just pretend his face is a Chippy Windy?
How would you run
Find
with
your
it?
big sausage
Using
after.
your arms?
I bet mine's running always like that.
Can you bat? Did you ever get a request to batter a chip of that? Could you batter that? That's how.
Oh, it's like big as
I seen it
Saturday.
on Saturday.
Friday night, by the way.
It's not as bad as I
Massive,
thought.
by the
They
way.
were near as bad as what I thought.
No,
Done alright, wee man.
but if that had came out at first, it would have been bad. It's just what you expecting. Anyway, do you expect Murphy VAR this weekend?
Are we off Dundee
I say
United now?
experts. I say 2 experts.
We missed Dundee United.
We've got a Chippy.
VAR, it needs to be better. It needs to be better.
What would
Because
taking too long? Like
it's taking too long.
The Motherwell one as well, that's got to be,
Aye.
they've got to have a look at that, and then even if the game's finished, back on,
Aye.
that's a penalty kick. You try to
Aye.
swap jerseys with the boy, wouldn't
They need to be better.
the
I think that-
embarrassing bit was with Jim Goodwin's that is it was
Aye.
definitely
Aye.
done.
But he's got to ask the question, and then the guy's like, aye, when it shouldn't have, quite clearly, it
What
shouldn't
do you
have
think
been
they've done?
done.
Just switch the fucking van machine. That's
That's what they're away at the pub, aren't they?
That's
They were like,
it.
let's go, night out.
Aye.
Innit?
Pull trousers back up. Right, let's go.
Aye, it needs to be better. I think that because people are saying about VR, it's terrible. It's just how it was used at the weekend. If you use it right, it can obviously help the referees, but the 2 Hearts,
Room
the
for
Hearts penalty
improvement.
took too long. The fact that Nick Walsh blew his whistle when he should have let it go when Ralston put the ball in the back of the net and then deal with the handball, and how long that Hearts one took.
See the
was-
penalty, like the one that took so long. See when you went to, how was it explained how long that they sort of decisions were going to take? Was there a time that was said to you?
No, if it's a factual decision, So if it's a penalty for a handball or an offside, or then the guy in the VR room will say handball, that's a penalty. If they're not sure, they'll say go and check. But I would imagine there should have been if there wasn't a conversation, if you're on the pitch and I'm in the VR, I'd say, why have you not gave a penalty? I thought Carter Vickers got the ball first. Well, he didn't. Right, that's it. Penalty.
That's what it should be.
I don't know why they took a minute and a half to look at it, then tell him to go to the monitor.
It should just be,
So it should have
that's a
been-
penalty.
By the way,
You would think so.
I think Cammy Devlin's got the ball first. Go and have a look, or Cammy Devlin's won the ball. It's a penalty.
Yeah.
So it should be smoother, but they are going to have to get used to using it. Then they're going to have to get used to refereeing the game differently because of that.
It's hard though, isn't it? That coming
is
in, you're
hard,
trying
but
to
when it's
listen
big
to this
decisions.
and you're then trying to think, do I make
Again,
a decision?
I'm sorry, I don't think that is hard, man. What's
I'm
hard
just
about it?
basing
You're
it
sitting
on
watching the screen and saying, Nick, that's a penalty.
Penalty.
No, but I'm just basing it on the ref blowing his whistle before he should have. His instinct is, I'll
Aye,
make the
to get a
decision,
foul.
and then now he's thinking, well, should VAR? I just base it on me trying to ref stuff. I've not got a fucking clue.
It's hard, innit?
Innit?
Aye. But that's not your job. That's their job.
I suppose.
So
Yeah.
they need, it needs to be better. There's no doubt it was a mess. The worst part for me was, and it was because it was the game I was at, what a game of football it was.
Oh, it was amazing.
And nobody spoke about how good a game it was. Because we had to speak about the referee and VAR, and you have to cover everything. What a game it was. Honestly, a brilliant game of football. And I just hope St Mirren, they're obviously complaining about their one. Motherwell's complaining about decisions that have gone against. Come on, we wanted to help the refs, and it was always going to be the case. It just shifts the moaning and the discussion onto VAR, how it's run, referees, whatever. I think the referees have to be better a day, and I just hope we can get back to talking about good football again and
So
get
it's like
it
Jim's
working.
arse, it just needs to run smoother.
Aye.
Any perms.
It's quite, didn't we, but isn't it?
Aye.
What do you like VAR or no?
It's like the guys that are sitting in there and watching it, and they're replaying it once or twice, and you know that's a penalty. It's not a penalty. That's even. But I think the one that annoys me for Motherwell's point of view, that has got to be took into account. It's still the game's on. It's live, and he's trying to rip it up. So they've got to go to the ref right away. Penalty kick. We've looked at it, it's a penalty. You can't just say that's it. The game
think we
finished.
need to
What's
know.
happened in that situation?
Well,
They've said no penalty.
we don't know.
That's the end of the game. So
the ref blew the
have they
whistle.
sussed that out?
Well, that's what I think we
Have
need
they
to know.
sussed that?
Why is there a given?
We need to be clearer on that. That
they
even
check it?
that's in time, like whether it was time added on, so it's happened. So even when the ref blows up, that review, they should be going to the referee, by the way, that's a penalty kick. Because
even
even
after
right, because what it takes is, am I right? Penalty kick, there you go. It's not as if the
even
guys
after
are getting called or anything. Just gets penalty kick.
There was a shout for a handball.
And then it get dropped again.
You need to watch it a few times, so
Aye.
there's no way they could have looked
both
at
of
it.
them.
And because by the time that you'd finish looking
got to
at
be
it,
a
you've got 2
process.
instances to look at the players that have been in the
So there's where
dressing
the improvement comes in. So that needs to be that process. You can't just say, right, that's the final whistle. Doesn't matter. We're not even going to be bothered checking it. Go to check it. Because it takes the pressure off Stevie Hammond a wee bit, doesn't it? Because he needs something as good as a playing, but that could have been an equaliser, you know.
Well, these are the decisions that VAR was brought in
Why
for.
it's been brought in.
Because the referee, you're not suggesting the referee can see it and he's made a mistake. He can't see it. But when you get a chance to watch it back, he's missed it.
It was difficult for the
Of
referee, so you
course.
couldn't see that. So
course.
that's why the
That's
VAR's
why we
there.
have it.
And it's clear, isn't it? It's clear that there's a foul there, it's a foul, it's a penalty. And it doesn't matter whether 20 seconds later he blows the whistle, he should still be in his ear and say that was a penalty kick during play. Penalty.
But then again, have you seen it in England? They've had it for like 2 years now. What about the Bournemouth with West Ham? How he's not gave a handball for that?
They're still, last night and all with
The Tottenham one's a shocker, wasn't it? About 4 minutes.
Got to get set up.
Aye. Oh, he was absolutely doing his nut. It took about 4 minutes for that decision to be made.
That's weird as
Do you think
well.
they'll eventually get rid of her in all football?
Just got you. Alright,
I think that you hear, like Conte obviously got sent off, he went mental.
Aye.
Like VR saying it's no.
and Chase it,
not good
didn't he?
enough.
Heard him after the game say he doesn't like it at all.
Did he?
Aye, but it was more because the whole story for months has been VR's coming and it's coming and everybody's getting excited and he's like, can't believe how excited he's getting about something coming.
It's just Scotland, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
will use it.
Do you,
I
mate?
think it makes it so exciting. I think it makes football so exciting when they all go to the morning and have the cheers.
You like to stop it or not?
See if they
That's
get
a
the
bit
right
drama, doesn't
decisions.
it?
See if it
That-
helps you get the
that's
right
that.
decision.
That's
And
all
it
you
takes
want.
3 minutes, fine. But you're still debating decisions or lack of decisions. It needs to run better.
So they need to come out.
It wasn't a good first week.
They need to come out, Faddy, and be clear on that. You know, with the Motherwell one, the Motherwell Aberdeen game, because
That's what that's
It's
the
a
thing. You know,
strange
why
one.
it's not explained.
it's funny how you could see the way you put it there. That's the final whistle. That's it. Switch your monitor off. Let's go. No,
Trousers up.
innit? Trousers up. Let's go. Because no, that should be getting checked. And even while the referees blew, I mean, it takes an eternity for the boys to get off the park anyway. So as they're mingling about, just go, hold on a minute, don't move.
Refs stop the game enough, honestly. See Saturday against Buck. Do you know what I don't get with referees? See if you're not going to book somebody, why are you stopping and talking to him? What you saying to him? Let me get the ball down and play. It does my tits in, man. 4
Yeah,
times
that
he
is your
stopped and
pity,
spoke to
yeah.
the players. You want to fucking play?
Nah, you do like that.
Because you're the got him though. Just trying to annoy
Honestly,
you.
you're
He's
actually
working.
Saturday.
He's
probably
absolutely
did it to
all
like,
over you, the ref. He's
honestly,
buzzing. He's got to be sitting in his house watching this.
What you saying to him?
absolute
You
piss
did one
himself
more time.
off,
You get, why should there be a warning? If it's a booking, just book him. If it's not, let him get on with it. Does man nothing, mate,
But see if
honestly.
he just flashes a card, you'll say, oh, come on, have a word before you book him.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't know
No,
why
I
the
wouldn't, I
refs.
promise
I don't know
you.
why the ref stopped the game though the other day. He stopped the
Mate,
game
he
at 5 minutes and it
kept
was for
stopping
nothing.
them, honestly.
He was just
Kept
standing with the pitch
stopping
not
it.
doing anything. Just standing and watching.
Maybe he was trying to go in the next part of the documentary.
Aye,
What is that?
Maybe he was trying to go in the next part of the
aye, that's what
documentary.
he's thinking.
That's what I think.
No daft, is he?
No. Right, my favourite part of the show. Because this is the one bit you're fucking...
Yeah,
What was it? Your analysis?
I got a coffee to start the show, but it must be freezing now.
So stick some more ice in there. It's a nice
I don't know
coffee.
if you watched the show last week, but Faddy actually got his coffee brought to him. You're having to go and get your
I know
own.
she just left it there, but I didn't
Yeah,
want
beer in
to
it,
ask you to move.
You want a beer, mate?
But
I'm not next
literally,
week.
there's 2 minutes
We
left.
need to do it, didn't we?
And you've
Aye,
got
we certainly do need to do it.
Right, here's what I do it when he's up for it.
Well, what's the world?
Why don't we keep that in November, that weekend that we're free in November? We'll go straight out after the cooking show.
What date's that? That's the...
We can,
Training will be cancelled that week, mate. We'll train on the Wednesday. Right, cooking.
Doesn't need to be imagined, just that.
I think we should go away.
Just a wee-
London or something for a match. I'll sort us tickets.
Hoover.
Tagging him.
Bit of lunch.
Right, cooking.
Right.
How did you get on last week, hopeless?
Aye, I'm every week. Every week,
Aye.
terrible.
Do you never put a cooking on? Are you allowed to put?
Ah,
Do you put a cooking on in the house?
aye, the boys put a curtain on.
Is it
but see,
something that-
but see when you're at a football, see sometimes the results are coming, I'll go like that. Can't believe that. I picked it. Are you doing that sometimes? You're sitting there
watching.
going like, Christ, here they've scored.
Aye.
You can't
It's
call
dead.
it, but you know, Scottish football's too hard to call.
It is.
Isn't it?
It's a toss. It's a toss.
It's a good one this week. There's a
There's a
lot of
toss.
games where
Right, so you
Go either way.
second v third.
Right, second v third, I'll ask you that then. St Johnstone v Kilmarnock.
Me?
I said that.
I'm going for a draw. Honestly, I'm going for a draw. I think Kilmarnock in good form. St Johnstone off the back, a good win. I'm going for a draw.
I'd go with that. Rangers Aberdeen.
Again, last week I thought Rangers easy. I thought they were going
You
to cut
did,
it.
aye, wasn't it? Right, you just went like that
I'm
last
going to
week,
go for a
Rangers.
draw again. I think Aberdeen will get something at IBROX.
I think this is also a tough one to call. Hibs v St Mirren.
Aye,
Draw.
Could be a draw, couldn't
could be. Hibs played well until they got man sent off against St Johnstone. Go for a home win, Hibs.
Hibs. And then last I'm going to ask you, Dundee United v Motherwell.
Motherwell. Never back against them.
Well,
This is the time. They played them a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and it was 0-0, but Motherwell were excellent, battered them, should have won the game. Come on the bell, do it again.
All right, ask.
What about Celtic?
Celtic.
Ross County Hearts. Off.
Why
Derek Ferguson Derby.
Why have you lowered your voice?
I know, it's good. I like it.
I know. I was actually. I thought there was something happening behind us. I'm like,
Derek Ferguson Derby. Roy McGregor, wait, remember Roy McGregor, Wade
do you know,
up there.
they're
careful
struggling
what
to
you
win
say,
games, Hearts, not in a wee fame. I'm going to go a
5
draw.
G's a week you were
Draw.
on up there.
Draw. Roy McGregor, lovely man. Draw.
Dundee United Motherwell.
Motherwell.
Speak up. Come on. I keep quiet. And Rangers Aberdeen.
I'm going to go Rangers.
You do, huh?
Yes.
Can I ask why?
Confident.
No, but it's going to be difficult. I tell you what, it's the start of the game, because see if they don't start well and the fans could turn, because they're not in a good place at the minute, the punters. So they've got to start well, and they need to get their noses in front every day. I think they can win it, but it'll be a hard fought game. But I think they'll just do enough.
Is that why you've done that? Right, who you want to ask your boy? Pick him 4 games.
Well, we'll start with Livy Celtic. I know what the answer's got to be, but
But he's got split loyalties. Best pal, Nicky Devlin's Livy.
And Martindale.
Martindale as well.
That's a tough one. Celtic.
no, that good, your pal. Ross County Hearts.
They had a lot of chances, Ross County,
Hearts.
against Kelly.
I really liked
They're in
their
Europe as
attitude
well,
reaction
but-
against Celtic. Showed that they're ready.
Rangers and Aberdeen.
Rangers.
Dundee United, Motherwell.
Pals as well.
Motherwell.
Are you?
I think so. I
Try to get back on side with the Motherwell fans, didn't you? You've been quite positive about
very
that.
positive, because I wasn't for 2 years. But since you've came on, I've been seeing every game. I think but what I really worry about saying is with my sort of, if I could call it, my philosophy, I always look at after the ball first, and Dundee United after the ball is miles off it at the moment, so they'll need to work at that. And then I'll go St Mirren will beat Hibs.
Oh, you going 5-team Cooten? Can't get 4 up, but you go 5.
St Mirren will beat Hibs this week. The way St Mirren play are set up perfect to beat Hibs.
I'll take that bet with you. 50 quid.
Right, 50 quid bet.
You think St Mirren will beat Hibs?
Yes, 50 quid bet.
50 quid.
Right.
So you just taking St Mirren, I get the draw as well?
No, you don't get a draw. Come on,
Alright,
be
so
brave.
no draw.
The draw cancels bet.
Right, okay.
But you're betting that they're going to win. He's saying they're
No.
not
So
going
we've
to
just
win.
said if it's a draw, there's no.
Aye, but you're betting that
going
they're
Hibs.
not going to win.
No, he's going Hibs.
No, I'll go Hibs. No, in fact, we'll no bet for money, but whoever loses gets an arse spanked for Big
Live.
Jim on the live.
live here.
There you go, live.
We'll get the red arse.
Right, okay.
Freeze, hit the ball right off your arse. Hopefully I get beat.
Do you ever get a belt?
Do you ever get what?
I was just going to say the belt. You're just too young to get a belt at
I
school.
used to get it. My dad used to give me it.
Your dad?
School.
Oh, right.
Your dad used to?
No.
I don't know. It's
Who hit you with a belt?
No, that's what you used to get. Punishment at school.
What, in
Did
your
you get
hand?
it?
Aye,
No, come on.
I'm not trying to
old. I look old, but I'm not that old.
Was it on your hand?
Aye, well, it was sent to the PE department, aye. Some
what
of
you doing
the
this
some of the
weekend?
teachers couldn't even because they were drunk. So they were. Aye.
What school was that?
Erlang Kai. Erlang Kai.
What primary you went to?
It's not there anymore, is it?
Brilliant, lad.